राधे
Divine souls, I request you to join me in a few minutes of divine name chanting before I begin this talk.
Krishna
It's a very auspicious day today. As you know, full moon, Purnima, just after one of the most important Ekadashis in our calendar, which is called Nirjala Ekadashi. And as I entered this beautiful temple, the first thing that greeted me was blessings from above. I think you also probably received a few drops of rain, just a few drops. And not only that, the moment looked up at the sky, there was this beautiful rainbow welcoming. So, auspicious day, and we are going to begin the most auspicious knowledge of all. The knowledge that is going to one day definitely take us beyond this material world of bondage, this cycle of birth and death, this janma mrityu jara vyadhir dukkha dosha anudarshana. So, I request you to listen with rapt attention, because these are gems of invaluable spiritual knowledge from a vast expanse. You know, there are so many scriptures. I'm sure most of us do not even know the names of them, let alone reading them, understanding them. So what you want to hear is the essence. Every word is important. So let us begin with God. I'm sure you have heard this word God many times in your life. Some of you sitting here may be praying every day. Of course, the quantity and the quality of the prayer is different for each one. And there are some who pray occasionally, when they probably need something, or they have something to complain about, or maybe it is a special festival, so it's occasional. Like Sri Krishna talks about naimittik, occasional. One is nitya, one is naimittik, which is occasional. And I hope not. There could be one or two sitting here who don't believe in God. Quite possible. Yeah, but I doubt that. However, the world outside is full of agnostics and atheists in today's age of Kali Yuga. And it's not surprising, because when we look at what is happening around us in the name of religion and God, it does bring disgust in the minds of those people who are actually thinking whether to believe or not. So the moment they see what religion, they think it's religion, but truly speaking it's ignorance. And it's man-made ignorance, actually. It's man who has diseased religion. Religion by itself is what it is, but when human beings. So, the truth is that there is only one God. Ekameva dvitiyam Brahma. Chandogyopanishad 621 mantra number. You must have heard Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Padanti. Rigved. Ekam Santam Bahuda Kalpayanti. Rigved. Eko Deva Sarvabhuteshu Gudaha. Sarvavyapi Shvetashvatara mantra 611. Purukhaeve Dakvam Sarvam. Shvetashvatara mantra 350. Not one, but hundreds of mantras telling us there is only one God. And who are we? Unlimited souls. We are all parts. We are all fractions of that one Supreme Being. As Sri Krishna declares in the Bhagavad Gita, Mamaivansho jivaloke jivabhutas sanatana. Arjun, all the beings are eternal parts of me. And when he said that, he did not say only Hindus are a part of me. He was talking of entire mankind. So there is one God. However, this one God has got many names and many forms. Every religion has addressed him differently, as you know. And not only that, even within one religion, there are so many different names you hear about. One God and so many different names. But, as I said, only one God. If we understand that, then we will know that the whole world is one family. One Father, and all are His children. No matter they are black, white, color, whatever they may be, which country, doesn't matter. Now, coming to us, we individual souls, what is our goal? The ultimate goal of humanity, of human beings, is to know and attain that Supreme Being we refer to as God. To know and attain Him. Now, I wonder, thousands and thousands of people coming to this temple every week, and not only here, everywhere, wherever there are different religious institutions, it may be gurdwaras, it may be mosques, it may be anything. Thousands, millions of people go there. How many going over there have really thought or even know about this goal which I am talking about? To know Him and attain Him. Have you ever thought about it? That I must attain Him, that Supreme Being. I fold my hands before Him. I stand before Balaji. But have you ever thought to communicate and one day realize that Supreme Being who appears to us right in that sculptured stone? We say He's all pervading. Now, the important question, the prime question is why? We all believe in God, and yes, We are not non-believers. We go to the temple, हम हाथ जोड़ते हैं, we prostrate before there, we take part in the aarti, we take the prasad, and whatever, we have our little altars at home. Everybody does. But about realizing it, how many have seriously thought about this goal? Not many. Why? Because they don't know the answer to why. That's the thing. Why do we need to realize God? I have discussed this prime goal of life, even here a couple of times. But because it's the very foundation, because many people think it's optional. Well, I don't feel like believing, I don't. You know, that's what it is. So that's why it's important to know. After that, you decide what you want to. But the why has to be known. It's only when the why is known, then the next question is how. So we have to be very clear about why. Why? Everyone, each and every soul without exception, is engaged only in one search. Although everybody appears to be busily running in every direction, yet the goal is one. And what is that one goal? Happiness. We all want happiness. And what kind of happiness are we searching for? We are not aware of it, but internally we desire happiness that's going to be everlasting, which will remain with us forever, which is never followed by suffering. Am I right? That's what we want. And also we want happiness that is not limited. We want unlimited, that explains the reason why we are all out more and more. Whether it's status, whether it's money, it may be any field, but we are never satisfied with limits. So we are all engaged, non-stop. Remember this other important point. It's a non-stop search, because we cannot remain inactive. You know the words of the Bhagavad Gita? Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatudishtatya karmakrit. We cannot remain inactive even for a fraction of a second. Constantly engaged in work. And what is the purpose of the work? One, happiness. It's amazing. We are all busy trying to fulfill this one goal, but we have never given it a thought. Bas bhag rahe hain. Nobody taught us. Think about it. Seriously think about it. Nobody taught you to desire only happiness. You did not read about it anywhere. And yet, it is there in each and every one. There has to be some reason. There has to be some kind of mystery behind this universal goal of entire mankind, whether a person believes in God or a person does not believe in God, is an atheist, or a person is agnostic. Agnostic means a person who neither believes or does not believe. So everyone, without exception, as I said, and no one wants suffering. Why? We want wealth, we want money, why happiness? You want status, why happiness? You want a family, sons, grandsons, why? Everything about happiness, big houses, happiness, cars, happiness, whatever it may be, X, Y, Z, happiness. Whatever you're doing, the desires may be in one lifetime. I don't know how a person arrived at that. He said one person in one lifetime has about 5 million desires. So 5 million desires, and what is the goal? Happiness. Aristotle said, we desire, listen carefully, we desire happiness for itself and not for anything else. Whereas we desire wealth, we desire honor, etc. because we believe that we will attain happiness through that. That's why we desire that. We are not in love with our bank accounts or our dollars or our pounds. For us, it means the happiness that comes through that. Ultimately, our love is happiness. Whether it's father, brother, friend, husband, child, anything. Why? You get the answer for happiness. Everything that we love, it may be a dog, for happiness. Now the question is, why? In order to get an answer to this, we have to take the help of spiritual science, spiritual knowledge. It's not there in any material textbook. The Vedas tell us there is a great personality named Ananda. Uska naam hai Anand. In the Taittiriya Upanishad, there is a detailed explanation of this concept of Anand and how it was proved through actual deep spiritual practice by Bhrigu, the son of Varun. He went into deep meditation and spiritual practice and eventually arrived at the realization Anando Brahmeti Vijanat Anandat Deva Karmani Bhutani Jayante Anandena Jatani Jivanti Anandam Prayanta Visambhishanti. Taittiriya Upanishad mantra number 36. Raso Vaisa Rasadvamye Vayam. Taittiriya Upanishad mantra 27. Vijnanam Anandam Brahma. Again Taittiriya Upanishad 2.4 mantra. Again mantra number 2.9. Ananda Mayobhyasa. This is your Vedanta Brahma Sutra 1.13. Ananda Majad Atidirgatapam Bhagavad Puran 10.48.7. Ananda Matra Mavikalpa Bhagavad Puran 3.9.3. Kevalan Bhavananda Swarupa 10.3.30. There are scores of verses, scores of mantras proclaiming this truth. Who is that Supreme Being? He is bliss. And the term in the world we use for bliss is happiness. We are aware of one term, happiness. And the spiritual term for this happiness, which we identify and we search for, is bliss. Anand. Sometimes English language is very, very limited, very, as far as philosophy is concerned. It cannot very correctly, give you the exact word for Ananda. We say enjoyment, we say joy, we use various terms. So he, that Supreme Being, is Ananda, bliss. And we are parts of him. We are parts of bliss. And that is why, without anybody giving us the knowledge, we are in search of bliss, of happiness, because it is the nature. Listen carefully, because this is the foundation. It's only when our foundation is firm, we will take step on the spiritual path without moving backwards. I don't believe, I don't think this is right. We have got our own minds coming in between. Our intellects have always been the greatest impediment. Otherwise we would have attained our goal. We would have got out of this mess of cycle of birth and death. It's our material intellect. That's why I'm saying this is the foundation. Listen to it. It is the nature of every part to desire to unite with the whole. A part is always attracted to that which it is a part of, and I've given you examples of rivers rushing to the ocean because they're parts of the ocean. That's where the water comes from. You all know science, all about how water vapor, etc. rises and how rivers come into being. Look at a flame of fire. Where does it rise? Upwards, right? Why? Why doesn't it go horizontal? Why doesn't it go downwards? You lift a lump of earth in your hand, right? You pick it up from here. You let that go, it won't go up, it will go down. Why? It's a part of the earth. Attraction force. It will go to the earth, it's a part of the earth. And that flame of fire, it will not go downwards, not sideways. It will go upwards because that fire is a part of that big ball of fire, that sun. See, we have examples in the material world itself of this law which I am telling you, that a part desires to unite with the whole. This explains the mystery behind this universal desire for happiness. Everyone, as I said, without exception, and nobody ever taught us. Whichever race you come from, whichever religion you belong to, whatever language you speak, whatever age you are, male, female, whatever it may be, but we all want happiness. And this is the reason behind it. I've explained very briefly. If you look up the Bhagavad Gita, how I have connected this, you will not find it anywhere. It's only experienced saints that connect this whole jigsaw puzzle. All the knowledge is there in the scriptures. It's all scattered. And there has to be an authority who can connect it together and explain it to you. So I'll put it in very simple terms. It could have been even deeper knowledge, but the important thing is to come down to the level of everyone so everybody can understand it. So, this is the reason behind the why. Why do we desire happiness? And that is exactly why throughout our life, even now, we have achieved so many goals, made money, big houses, families, etc., etc. Yet, internally, something is urging us on, not satisfied, not satisfied. Yet, we don't stop running. We keep running to this direction. We may also attend spiritual talks. We may also read books of scriptures. But as far as the search for happiness is, we are headlong, rushing. You can call it a wild goose chase. Because, as I said, our internal being longs for everlasting, unlimited happiness. And that's the definition. Yovai Bhuma Tat Sukham. Chandogya Upanishad 7:23-1. The definition of happiness, true happiness, is that which is unlimited. True happiness is that which is everlasting. And what have we been doing? Since time immemorial, countless lives, we have been engaged in an incessant search for unlimited, everlasting happiness in this temporary, limited world. Now those fortunate souls who sit back and think, you have to be thinkers. You see, spirituality is not a blind belief. Let me tell you that. People think it's hypnotism, it's brainwashing. It's not at all. It's about thinking. Those people who give this a deep thought and analyze what they have achieved in the world, they turn towards finding the answers in spirituality. Yat prithivyam grihiyavam hiranyam pashavastriya nalamekasya paryaptam tasmat trishnam parityajet. 9:19-13 Bhagavad Puran says that if one person, because the scriptures are telling these truths, the truths are there, but you have to listen to them and analyze your own experiences in comparison to that. Here it is openly said that if you, one person, were made the king of this entire universe or world, one person, that doesn't happen these days. Even those who are kings or prime minister of one small country, they don't know whether they're going to be outed, right? It's also insecure. So here this person is fully accepted by everybody, young, handsome, rich, everything that you would desire, he has. And this Bhagavad Puran says here, this is Yayati's experience, he says, the person will still remain a beggar because the search is for spiritual happiness and we are trying to satisfy the internal soul with material. That's totally opposite. The material is for satisfying the body. We need it. But the soul is a divine entity, I said to you, a part of God. So a divine entity can only be satisfied with the divine. It's very simple, but it has to get inside and we have to understand and accept it. Doesn't Sri Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita, Brahma bhuvala loka punaravartino juna. 8th chapter, 16th verse. If a person were to even rise up to the abode of Brahma, this planet of us is the lowest level of happiness. There are 11 more beyond this. There's no time to go into it. Brahmalok, even then that person is not going to be satisfied, will keep coming back into the cycle of birth and death. Now such a person who has analyzed, listened to spiritual truths, been observant of his or her own experiences, they want to find out, okay, I have understood that the soul is divine and therefore our search for happiness is that divine, that spiritual. So how do we attain it? Again, we go back. The scriptures say, Tameva viditvati mrityumeti nanya pantha vidyate yanaya. Shvedashvatara Upanishad, mantra 3.8, same mantra, 650 in the same Upanishad. What does it say? It is only by knowing Him, Him means that Supreme Being, Brahma, God, that we can cross this ocean of Maya, this material bondage, this suffering. It's only by knowing Him. So if you want to be free, you want liberation from suffering, then know Him. You want happiness? Listen. Sukham shashvatam netaresham. Again, Shvetashvatara Upanishad, mantra number 612. And we have exactly the same thing in the Kathopanishad, 2:12. If you want to attain true happiness, then know Him, know Him. You want peace? Gyatva Shivam Shanti Matyantameti. Knowing Him, then you will attain peace. Shvetashvatara Upanishad 4:14. The same thing in the Kathopanishad 2:13. Gyatva Devam Muchyate Sarva Pashai. Shvetashvatara Upanishad, mantra number 6:13. All are partially. Partially means knots, bonds. All the bonds, the suffering that you are going through, everything you can be released from all by knowing Him. That is the supreme knowledge. Know Him. Without that, all that you have learned in the material world or anywhere, all that is nothing. Have you heard about Shwetaketu? That is a story about this young child. When he was 7 years, he was sent by his father. He was invested with a sacred thread and he was sent to study. In those days there was Gurukul. So this boy went to school and he was a brilliant boy. He did very, very well and he impressed all the teachers with his knowledge. And after he had completed his study, several years, he came back very keen to tell his father about how he had won the respect and the praises of the teachers and all. So the father looked at him and he could see that this boy is full of pride. He thinks that I am very intelligent, I have taught in Gurukul. And if the truth is, if one has actually got true knowledge, the outcome is humility, not pride. How much can we know? Many a times when we read a lot, maybe we are materially accomplished, have got so many degrees, etc. Or we even read spiritual books, I've read the Upanishad, I've read the Bhagavad Gita, I've done this and all that. Then, if it results in pride, then we have missed the whole point. You've heard of Socrates, a Greek philosopher, known for his great wisdom. So people came to him and praised him. We all know that you are the wisest of all people in Greece. Everybody appreciates you. So Socrates smiled. He says, if knowing nothing means to be wise, to be knowledgeable, then yes, I can say I am, because I know nothing. This is what Socrates said. I don't know. So, when Shwetaketu came back, his father asked him, my son, before you tell me all about what happened at Gurukul, I want to ask you one question. Yes, father. Did you study that knowledge, hearing which nothing remains to be heard, seeing which nothing remains to be seen, and knowing which nothing remains to be known? Shwetaketu was confused. He was stunned. He said, to be honest, I don't know. Please tell me. I don't know what it is. Can you tell me? Maybe my education is not yet complete and you're going to do it. And maybe those teachers back at Gurukul, even they didn't know about it. If they knew about it, they would have told me. So his father said, you have to know that which is inherent in all things. No matter what shape or size or what use a thing is put to, we have to know what the basic inherent thing is about. Purity, all about the metal. Then, whatever is made of gold, people wear all sorts of things. It could be bangles, it could be earrings, it could be necklace, it could be anything. But because you have the basic knowledge of gold, you automatically have knowledge of everything that is made of that gold. So my son, the knowledge of that supreme entity who is inherent in all things and beings in this universe, it is knowledge of that which automatically amounts to complete knowledge. Without that, all knowledge is incomplete. See, all knowledge can be broadly classified into two. Because people give different classifications of knowledge, but I'm going to be very simple and basic. All knowledge that is there, divided into two classifications. One is material knowledge and one is spiritual knowledge. Now, truly speaking, everyone is ignorant. Now, ignorant, हम कहते हैं, हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना, मूर्ख. अब किसी को मूर्ख कह दो, लड़ाई हो जाएगी. अच्छा नहीं लगा, नहीं भी कुछ बोलेगा, उसको बहुत बुरा लगेगा, पूरे जीवन याद रखेगा, इसने मुझे मूर्ख कहा. He called me ignorant. But this is what the scriptures are saying. And not only that, isn't it our own experience as well? Do we have complete knowledge even of one subject? For instance, somebody is a lawyer, maybe to do with criminal crime. Does that lawyer have all the knowledge, all the laws and subsections in this connection? No, even they go through the books. A person is a doctor, for example. Does that doctor have complete knowledge of his subject? Even if it is, he specialized, say for instance, bone specialist, ear, nose and throat. Do they have complete knowledge? This body itself is a big mystery. And material knowledge? Even if a person is a doctor, do you know anything about music? Do you know anything about Indian dancing, classical? Zero. We have only to go to a local library, forget the big libraries, just go to a local library, look at all the shelves. So much knowledge, this material knowledge I'm talking about. And what about the human brain? How much of it has been, in spite of so much of research in medical science, it's still a mystery. Look around when it's a bright day, look at the vast expanse at night in front of you. All those shining tiny little dots, those stars up there, they are planets. Some at distances of millions of light years. What do we know? Where do we stand when it comes to knowledge? So the term that the scriptures use, that we are ignorant, is so true. Then we realize that it's true, we don't know. And even if a person were to, now a lot of people do that, throughout their life they like to study. I've got 8 PhDs. Wow. I know 10 languages. Wow. So, no matter how much of material knowledge we accumulate, it can never lead to perfection. Never. However, if we have that one spiritual knowledge which Uddalak talked to Swetaketu about, that one spiritual knowledge, one only, that amounts to all knowledge. Then you attain perfection, whether it's spiritual or material. Knowledge of one amounts to knowledge of everything. That's the big difference. Firstly, between material and spiritual knowledge, and then again, that one knowledge which we are here to talk about, to know Him. It's only by knowing Him. Tulsidashi expressed this in a different way. He said, Jane binu na hoi paratiti, or binu paratiti hoyi nahi preeti. The first step is knowing. Remember that. Because we don't know, that's why there is this, the journey is always go forth, step back, step out as well. Because knowledge is important. Once you have knowledge, then faith comes automatically. And when you have faith, then there will be love. And when there is love, there's attainment. That's what Tulsidashi is explaining here. Simple example. You happen to be walking on the road and you step accidentally on something that pokes your foot. You pick it up, ring. Where did this come from? And you look at it casually. It looks ordinary to you, but however it was lying there, and you just pick it up. Now, it's lying in your house, just on the windowsill. You haven't given it any importance. But one day, one of your friends, who's an expert on recognizing these stones, he happens to look at it and he says to you, why have you thrown this ring around over here? Why? What do you mean? He says, look, this is so expensive. You must be having many more expensive things. You treated this ring so casually. Why is it on the windowsill? He said, why do you say it's expensive? He said, don't you know? Where did you get it? Didn't you buy it? Did somebody gift it to you? This diamond, this is a diamond. And this diamond is worth at least £1,000,000. Say for instance, £1,000,000. What did he say? Say it again. I'm sure, if not 1,000,000, maybe a little bit less, but it's definitely very expensive diamond. Where did you get it? How could you afford it? Where did you get it? Was it passed down to you from your own great-grandparents or something? Because to acquire something like, you really need to? Is it true? Of course, I know all this. I can recognize it. I'm an expert at this. Now you take that ring and you hold it to your heart and you probably kiss it, you take it and lock it up in the cupboard. See, the ring is the same. Till you did not know about it, it was thrown on the windowsill, right? And when you came to know about it, and because somebody who's an expert told you about it, so there was faith. You would not believe any other person who told you it's expensive. But somebody who knew about it told you about it. So therefore there was faith, and when there was faith, automatically there was love for it. Now your love for that ring is £1,000,000. Because you're told. So knowledge was the first step, wasn't it? First step was knowledge, and then faith and love automatically came. That's why all these scriptures are saying, you have to know Him, know Him. You want to attain true happiness, everlasting peace, then the greatest knowledge you have to have in human life is to know Him. So let us then make an attempt to know Him. Who's going to tell us? Supreme Being, God. Who are we going to ask? Where are we going to find out? The best way to know about Him, about God, is to ask God Himself. Ask Him. You know, when a person introduces himself, he's the best person to know about himself. If you ask other people, maybe they've got their own prejudices, their own thinking and misconceptions. Some people find some people good and some people have got grudges. That's what happens in the world, isn't it? So, the best person to ask is ask the person himself. So, in order to know God, ask Him. But how is that possible? We haven't even seen Him. Where do I find Him? Can you tell me the address? How do I go to Him and ask Him? Well, we don't need to worry at all. Because without our asking Him to tell us about himself, he has already done it. Already done it? Yes. Na vedavin manute tam brihantam. You have heard of the Vedas? The Vedas are the breath. Nishvasitamasya Veda. They are the breath of the eternal. They are the form of God Himself. The Vedas tell us all the knowledge is there. They are the umbrella. Everything that you find in any different religions, all those truths, all that knowledge is in the Vedas. So, in the Vedas itself, that Supreme Being has told us all about Himself. Whatever we need to know is all there. So, let us now look into the Vedas. What are they saying about that Supreme Being? We'll have to find out, not today, but we will look into it tomorrow. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki, Srimad Sadguru Sarkar Ki.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Jai
Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Siyavar Ramchandra ki